So what we've got is the Horizon Auction Plaza, and the idea was, well, what got me started on it was when I first joined in, I realized it was difficult as a new creator to get access to some of the better assets that more experienced creators would make, especially with scripting, because scripting is difficult to learn when you first get started. And a lot of the more experienced builders and scripters are, of course, busy with all of their projects, so they don't have a lot of time to teach people. So I thought it would be nice to have a portal that gives access for newer creators to those assets without the more experienced builders having to invest any time in it. So the thought was to take the auction plaza and allow the experienced builders and scripters to put their things in there as a hands-free method of passing assets to some of the newer creators, and it gives the newer creators access to that as well. And also for people that just have social anxieties or just aren't great with talking to people, it's difficult for them to go up to these people who have all the experience and say, hey, can I use this asset? So I thought it was a good way for those people to be able to get access as well without having to go through the social interaction that they may have difficulty with. Also, the secondary purpose for it was I thought it would be fun, since everybody already shares their assets pretty willingly, if we made it into something of a game. Now, I've been an auctioneer for 20 years, so I thought, let's bring this into here and see if I can make this into a game using sort of an in-game currency system. So that's what we did. JHEF came in and he wrote this utterly amazing script for the economy system that is super complex. And it basically simulates a functioning money system in the economy in here. And that's what everything functions off of, is this own in-game currency that's useful only in the auction plaza. Everybody, when they first come in, I give them $1,000 to start with, but once they expend that $1,000, the only way to get any more is to put items into the auction and sell assets in the auction. So thereby it kind of promotes creativity, and it tries to get people building, because when they come in and they want to participate in the auction and be part of the action, the only way to continue to do that is to build things of your own. I only allow people to put in assets that they've created. I try to follow up on it as best I can. I try to visit people's worlds so that I can see what assets they have, so that I might be able to catch somebody if they're trying to put in somebody else's asset. But for the most part, people are pretty honest about it. So that's the basic gist of everything. And we've done 3 auctions so far. The first one was a booming success because it happened to be in the plaza when we did the first one. And then the ones after that have done really well as well. We haven't had any troubles with anything, and everybody seems to like the idea. Everybody that comes in has a great time. We usually, we'll have 25, 30 people in here at a time for every auction. So sometimes there's even a second instance running with people waiting to get in. So I always try to advise people to get in here early so that they can get a look at the assets and get their spot reserved. So let's go take a look around real quick, and I'll show you around the place. So normally all of these doors would have small worlds like this one here. I designed little sets for the asset, and I just put the asset in there, and it's just a showcase area for it where you can go in and look at the asset. And then we list over here the object percentage, the simulation percentage, and the geo percentage that each of the assets consumes. That way, whoever's buying it already knows how much space it's going to take up in their world. And then the asset itself is in the case. We list the creator down here. If they've got collaborators, we list those on there as well. And we try to display the item as best we can in the case. And that's also why I build the small sets for it as well, so that we can try to make it show as best as possible to get the most value out of it as possible. So everything on the first floor is static assets. And you can see this is assets from the original auction, the very first auction. And these are all just static objects that, they're just decorative items for a world. Everything on the second floor is scripted objects. So this is where everybody buys all their scripting from up here. So everything up here has some functionality, and it's varying degrees of difficulty. So some of them are simpler scripts. Some of them are very complex scripts. Just depends on who puts them in. Then downstairs, I'll show you where we do the actual auction. So when you first come in, you can come over here and check your balance. So that'll tell you how much money you currently have, which I imagine right now should show 0. But if you have a balance, it should pop up. Well, I don't know why it's not right now, but I'll have to mess with that in a minute. We also have our own, we just recently started our own Facebook group. So And this is where we do the actual auction. So normally we'd have the whole crowd would stand out here, and we kind of spread everybody out through the whole of this room. Then I would stand up here, and I'll bring another asset down right here, and I'll go in and show you how it works real quick. Just wait out here. So this is what we use to actually conduct all the auction. This transfers money back and forth to people. So just to give you an idea, if I could get away from that wall. So everybody would get their $1,000 to start. So you would now have $1,000 to bid with. And then during an auction, I'll call down the assets to this podium right here, and then you can come up and take a closer look at them. Then the auction would go something like this. I'd say, all right, so I've got the laptop over here by D3034, guys. You can use that in a lot of custom worlds. It's pretty usable. It's used for a lot of useful things there, guys. All right, here we go. Give me $100 for it then. 100, now but 100, now but 100, 100, now but 110, 110, now but 120, 110, now but 120, 120, 130, 140, 140, now 150, 150, now but 150, now but 160, 160, now but 160, now 170, 170, now but 180, 180, now but 180, your turn, you're out. 180, but 180, 180, now but 180, sold it to $170 right there for catch these hands. There you go, buddy. You got your laptop. So that's how it would go, except we'd have about 25 or 30 people standing out there bidding all over the place. So that's pretty much how the auction runs. So the next coming auction is going to be February 18th. They happen every other Tuesday on a reoccurring basis. They're all 8 p.m. Central. Usually people start showing up around 7:30 or so, and I start doing the bid calling somewhere around 8:15 or so. About 8 o'clock, I kind of go through announcements and show people how the process works and walk everybody that's new through. And it also gives people time to come in and get their starting money as well. So like I said, 7:30, be here. February 18th is the next one, and we'll have a whole new rack of assets set up and ready to go. So I'd like to say thanks to HorizonHype901. Thanks, you guys, for coming out. Let me show you around the place. I think it's something cool you guys are doing here. So keep at it, man.